This video is an introduction to Google Sketchup. So we're going to go to Google Sketchup Pro 2013, and we're going to actually draw what's called the IU drawing. It's just a training drawing. It is graded. We're going to go to Choose Template, and it asks for a feet and inches template on the drawing itself, and start using SketchUp. Now you're not going to have the toolbars, so you're going to have to open up the correct toolbars, and we're going to go View, Toolbars, and you need to have Large Toolset, Styles, and Views open. And you should be able to use your mouse. When you click to select different tools, you're going to use the left mouse button. You rarely are going to use the right mouse button. And then the scroll wheel is actually a button that allows you to orbit and spin around if you want to try that. If you move the scroll wheel, you'll zoom in and out on your drawing. It's easier as a beginner to draw from the top view. So find your Views toolbar and click the top, and then you can go ahead and start drawing for the first one, the I, which is a capital. It looks like a capital I. So we're going to use the line tool, and this is pretty simple once you get used to doing it, but the trick is in the way that you click the mouse. We do not click and hold the mouse and then release it. Now that's what I just did, is I clicked and held and then released it, and it defined that the line was, whatever distance it was, like 2 feet 9 13/16. I didn't get to type in and control how long the line length actually was. So I'm going to go ahead and Control Z that right now. What you want to do is you want to click and release. And now my hand is actually not on the mouse, and my line is still attached to the drawing screen. So that's what you want to have, is the lines there, but you're not holding the mouse button down. And so that takes a little getting used to. Then you want to pull the line in the correct direction you want it to travel. All of these lines are going to get drawn either on the red axis, which is X, or the green axis, which in reality is Z. We're not going to go up and down yet, which is the Y axis or the blue axis. And anytime you would maybe draw a black line, so let me kind of skew our viewpoint here a little bit. This line looks horizontal, but it's black. Well, it's not really horizontal. It needs to be aligned with the red axis to be a true horizontal line. And that's why we go to the top view. It just makes it a lot easier. So we're going to go ahead and pull this over in the correct direction, and we're going to type in a value on the 10 key, which is the number pad on the right side of your keyboard. So we're going to type in 3 feet, enter, and you can see that the line is actually drawn for you at a certain distance. Now, is it right? Well, you can check it. You can come up to the tape measure tool at the top, and you can click from the left side to the right side and see, oh yeah, it's 3 feet. You could also use the dimensioning toolbar, which we'll use later. Click on the line and pull it down, and it's 3 feet. So you're good. So you're going to continue on around drawing and specifying each of the sides. So we're going to pull this up, and we're going to type 1 foot, enter. We're going to pull it in this direction. Remember to stay on the red axis and the green axis. You're going to type 1 foot, enter. I'm not clicking my mouse at all here. To type in a number like 1'6", you're going to type 1 foot sign, no space, 6. Now you might think I have to put the inch sign in there, but you actually do not. Anytime you type a number with no type of units being labeled at the end of the number, it will assume inches. So in this case, it's assuming that it's 1 foot and then 6 inches, even though I don't have the inch sign in there. Enter. So that's 18 inches. And then you could also convert numbers. Instead of me typing 1 foot, I could type 12, which is 12 inches. Enter. And you get the same thing. So you're going to continue on around like this. So this is 12, this is 36, and I'm just converting to inches. There's also something else that SketchUp will do. It's called Inference referencing. It'll kind of infer how long you want this next line if you hover over another line of equal distance. So you can see how it found that point. Okay, and now here I don't have anything to infer down to, so I literally have to type in 12. This one can be inferred, so I can come over like this and click. This can be inferred, and then I can close it. Notice how it shades in. That's good. We need it to shade in, and if you don't see shading but you know you did it right, you would want to look over at the Styles toolbar and make sure that you had shaded with textures selected. So shaded means it's a closed object. You have to have a closed object to be able to make something three-dimensional. But before we make it 3D, we're going to go ahead and dimension the rest of the drawing. So this is going to prove to you and to the teacher that things are correct. So you go to your dimension toolbar and then start clicking on these lines. Now if it doesn't work for you, it could be that you're just zoomed out too far and it can't find those lines. So zoom in and just label all of these different lines proving that they are correct, and just work your way around. Now the last step in drawing this is to go ahead and push pull it. So I'm going to orbit, go to push pull, which is right up here. Looks like a box with an arrow. Click on the closed object. Don't click and hold. Remember, we never click and hold. Pull this down so we can still see our dimensions on the top, and type 6, enter. And this should be 6 inches thick. So there's the first drawing. To do the second one and line it up, go back to top view, and then you could draw a line from this corner over whatever number you want, and then start drawing your next shape. But then you could always erase the line that's between these two. So you're going to draw all 4 of those, and then get it graded. Each one is worth 1 point. Now let's say you pulled this thing too far and you need to correct it. Well, if I don't know how thick it is, I don't know how far to push it back. So what I have to do is I have to use my tape measure in a different kind of way here. I'm going to use my tape measure, click here while it's red. Don't go to the end point, but a little ways back here. Pull this straight down on the blue axis, which is the vertical axis or y-axis, and type 6, enter. That's where it should have been, or the thickness it should have been is 6 inches thick. Now if you orbit up underneath the shape, you can pull it back to this line. So I can come back to here and then hover over that line, and it'll snap to there, and then it's back where it should be. So that is how you do the training drawing for the IU.